Alright, hello y'all. Welcome to another forecasting video. Now this is gonna be a pretty short one as I have a lot of stuff on my plate. I will probably have an update tomorrow night after I get back from going to see my high school state basketball game. But in the meantime, I have a couple updates to show you guys. There is severe weather upgrades and kind of updates. We'll look over the wrap. It should be around a 5 to 10 minute video session here. But looking at the surface analysis here right now, there was supposed to be a severe weather day today. It really didn't pan out at all. The severe weather was pretty lackluster, maybe a couple warnings, and that's about it. So, going into the night, maybe a strong storm is possible. Tomorrow, 12Z. Oh, this is from last night. I gotta update this. Oops. Okay, here's the updated forecast. Here's tonight, 060, 12Z. 18Z, we may see an intended severe risk in portions along the warm front here in Florida, Georgia, as there could be an ongoing squall line moving southeast. At 0Z, we will likely see elevated thunderstorms start to form along the cold front low pressure triple point here, and those will move off to the north and east, potentially bringing a brief tornado risk along with them. By the time we hit 12Z, we're likely going to have a huge QLCS ongoing with embedded supercells, probably tornadoes ongoing as well, and probably a quite significant risk for damaging winds and all that. 0Z Sunday, the system is out of here. 12Z, you can kind of see over the next few days, we could see some strong storms on Monday, or I mean Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe with that system, we'll see. Kind of some interesting stuff to look after. Very significant flooding is likely. 5 inches or higher rain amount wise. Very surprised we still haven't gotten a moderate risk of excessive rainfall, but whatever. Looking storm prediction center wise, we have a day 1 slight for today. This will definitely be downgraded to a marginal, probably for like 5 wind, 5 hail. Um, Day 2, we have an enhanced risk now. So we have a marginal risk across portions of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina, and into maybe a little bit more Florida there. The main risks in this marginal are going to be a brief tornado, especially along the northern and eastern edges, and then isolated wind gusts and isolated hail. We have a slight risk in extreme southern North Carolina, a lot of South Carolina, most of Georgia, a lot of northern Florida, a good amount of Alabama as well, and then we have an enhanced risk in Florida and Georgia, maybe touching southeast Alabama. High population centers in the risk for the marginal Charlotte, North Carolina, New Orleans, Louisiana, Atlanta, Georgia Metro, Raleigh, North Carolina, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Other spots include Wilmington, North Carolina, and Orlando, Florida. For the slight risk, we have Jacksonville, Florida, Montgomery, Alabama, Mobile, Alabama, Columbus, Georgia, Savannah, Georgia, Mobile, Alabama, Columbia, South Carolina, and places like Macon, Georgia. In the enhanced risk, we have Tallahassee, Florida, Albany, Georgia, Valdosta, Georgia, Panama City, Florida, and Thomasville, Georgia. Tornado risk wise, we have a 10% tornado risk that has been issued across southern Georgia and into portions of the Florida Panhandle area. Along with that, a 5% tornado risk from areas like Columbia, Macon, just south of Columbus, and Dothan, Alabama, into Jacksonville, Florida. With a large 2% surrounding that, we have a 30% wind chance as well, encompassing all the marginal, slight, and enhanced risk areas. Hail-wise, we have a small 5% chance for hail, anywhere from eastern Florida, from northeastern Florida, southeastern Georgia, all the way into portions of southern Louisiana. Main threats are going to be a few tornadoes, maybe a stronger one, semi-widespread damaging wind gusts, and an isolated large hail. On day 3, the same system is expected to trek eastward. We will probably see an enhanced risk with this setup, probably for areas like this, if I had to assume anything. Maybe another secondary area in here too, we'll have to see. Main threats with this are a few tornadoes and scattered damaging wind gusts. And then the second sentence here, Portions of the sightless may eventually require an upgrade once details regarding the convective mode within the low Cape high shear environment, the surface track, and the timing of the cold front come into better focus. Places like Durham, North Carolina, Richmond, Virginia, Tallahassee, Florida, Cape Coral, Florida, Columbia, South Carolina, Tallahassee, Florida. Oh, I already said Tallahassee. Melbourne, Florida, Fort Myers are in the marginal. The slight includes places like Jacksonville, Florida, Virginia Beach, Virginia, Raleigh, North Carolina, Tampa Bay, Florida, St. Petersburg, Florida, Charleston, South Carolina, Savannah, Georgia, Wilmington, North Carolina, and the Outer Banks as well. Now let's quickly go into the RAP model solution. We're first going to start off in the contiguous United States here. We're going to look at the 500 millibar pattern with this. As you can see here, here's going to be our main player. It's going to be this trough that's going to be across this general area, and it's going to kick into portions of this area. You can see here it really gets going, and it starts to eject across the region late night. You can see a strong jet sweep start to really get going. Let me change the color of my pen. Whoops. We have a nice strong jet streak start to get going in Louisiana there. As we move along here, we start to see this kind of eject and really get going here. 18Z is probably when the wrist starts moving offshore, but we have an area in here, an area in here with probably ongoing convection. Now let's actually look at the 850 millibar flow pattern. We're going to take a quick gander at this. For tomorrow, it really starts to increase as you get overnight. We see a screaming lower level jet of 50 plus knots erupt. And then over into the Carolinas, we see a 60 plus knot jet erupt. And you can see here, probably by 18Z, all this moves out. Now, as we get down to the surface, here's a look at our theta E map here. We'll take a look at that. And you can see that warm sector just start to really blossom as you get into the evening there. Or as you get to 6Z, we see a clear warm front kind of sitting right there. We have a low pressure kind of right here, and then we also have an intended cold front right there. Your main risk of severe weather at that point would probably be along that cold front and warm front. As you get into the day, we can see that cold front start to crash, and we start to see Florida getting into it. And there's probably going to be very cold temperatures after this. Like, portions of Florida are going to be very hot before this and then cold after. And yeah. Now let's go quickly look at the precipitation pattern, kind of far in here. We're not going to look at the actual values. We're going to look at what's happening in the surface here. We see a nice winter storm develop. Let me just zone back here. But the low pressure really starts to get going at around 0Z. Right here. As you see here, it starts to really get strengthening too at that point. We see it really strengthen as we get to around that 12Z period and really eject out. Probably some nasty severe storms ongoing kind of in here. Then as you move along with that, they start going further south, and a lot of Florida is going to get affected. Now let's first take a look at the southeast sector, and then we're going to go up into that Florida loop, and we can take a look at the photographs here. So here's a look. Lots of convection happening. It looks like probably some severe storms are going to be possible around this general point. Let's go and take some soundings with that mean layer cape here. So we can see here there's a large area of 1,000 mixed layer cape across portions of the risk area at 6Z. We take a sounding there. Pretty solid stuff happening. A very linear profile, but again, that's not bad. Really good photograph there. Lots of big time wind shear profiles as well, which will help kind of propel the risk a bit. As you can see here, this instability kind of gets lofted into the Carolinas overnight. We probably will see a nice severe risk right there. There's that. And then Florida during the day is probably going to be pretty significant, anywhere from like 10Z to maybe 15. Looking at some of the profiles there, I mean, this is pretty significant right there. So here's a profile, and this is pretty significant. Good low-level lapse rates along with solid 3 cape and a good photograph. That's going to be pretty strong for a nice linear storm mode, especially what you're given here. If we take a look at the 3 kilometer Cape Loop, you can see here it starts to get going overnight, and into the Carolinas there's going to be a nice risk too in the early morning hours, which is going to be something to really watch as well. And really, Florida gets the brunt of this on the wrap. Yeah, the Carolinas the wrap is probably a bit of an outlier for the northern extent of this risk, which we'll keep you updated on. But yeah, that's gonna do it. If you live in portions of Alabama, Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Louisiana, Mississippi, just note that severe weather is possible over the next coming days and to have a plan when severe weather strikes. But that'll do it for this one.